Hi everybody, so today we are going to be talking about food chains. So what is a food chain? Well, it's how every living thing gets its food. So nutrients and energy are passed from creature to creature, and it always starts with plant life and then it ends with animal life, okay? And every living thing needs energy to survive. So if you think about it, every time you move or an animal moves, runs, jumps, they use energy, and they need to top that energy up by using the food that they eat. So if we think of a really simple food chain, we're going to start with grass. Then what eats the grass? A rabbit. Then what eats the rabbit? A fox. So that's a really simple food chain. But if we're saying that everything along the line is creating energy, how does the grass produce energy? Well, it's through something called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is where the sun, water, minerals and carbon dioxide are all absorbed by the plants. The plant then uses them to make glucose, which is a sugar, which is the energy or food for the plant. Oxygen is also produced by the plant in this cycle, which then is let off into the air. Food chains can get even bigger than that. Okay, so let's think of a new one. If we think of the wheat growing in the farmer's fields, what would eat that? Mice. So the mice are eating the wheat. What would eat the mice? Snakes. So what would then eat the snakes? Maybe a hawk. Okay, so that's a longer food chain. But it doesn't just stop there, because what happens when the hawk dies? Well, that is when we get bacteria and fungi that break down the body of that animal. They put nutrients back into the ground, and these guys are known as decomposers. Okay, so they break that down. They put nutrients, the good stuff, back into the ground. Okay, it's a complete circle of life and energy. All right, so you've got all of the nutrients back into the soil. You've got the plants growing. You've got animals eating the plants. You've got animals eating those plant eaters, and it's just goes round and round, and the energy gets stronger each time it goes round. Okay, so if those fungi and mushrooms are known as decomposers, because you can also have invertebrates as decomposers as well, like earthworms, maggots, beetles, millipedes that we've spoken about before. If they are known as the decomposers, what are the plants known as? Well, they are known as the producers, because they produce their own food, their own energy through photosynthesis, which we spoke about. So then anything else in the food chain that comes after our producers are known as consumers. Now, to consume means to eat. Okay, so these are the animals that are eating after the produced energy. Okay, it sounds a little bit complicated, but remember, you've got your plant, which is a producer. Okay, so we've got that wheat. Then we've got a mouse that comes along. This is a consumer. It's going to eat that producer, okay, the plant. Then the snake comes along and consumes the mouse. Then the hawk comes along and consumes the snake, and so on. Okay, until we've got our decomposers. All right, but there's three types of consumer. There is a herbivore, which eats plants. There is a carnivore that eats meat, and then there's an omnivore that eats plants and meat. So now I want to show you one of what we refer to as a bioactive setup. So a bioactive setup is basically us trying to replicate the natural environment, the natural habitat of our animals, and we have done this with our tree frogs. So in our enclosure, we have got our decomposers. So we've got bacteria, we've got fungi, we've also got invertebrates like woodlice, we've got earthworms, we've got things called sprigtails in there. Then we have their live plants as well, which help filter the air, create oxygen. It smells beautiful in there, lovely and fresh. And then we've obviously got their live food. So we've got things like crickets and locusts, which they would eat, which would feed off of the plant. Okay, so the producer would get eaten by the consumer, and then we've got our frogs that would eat the locust. Now, naturally, if then the frog were to pass away, were to die, then they're going to fall to the ground and be basically broken down by our decomposers. So that would be the job of the sprigtails, the woodlice, the earthworms and the bacteria and the fungi. But I'm going to take you around and give you a little tour of their enclosure. Okay, so here is our enclosure for our white tree frogs. Now in here we've got Mel, we've got Sheila and we've got Sydney, all hidden amongst the foliage in here. So as I said, it's a bioactive enclosure, meaning that it is alive. We are trying to replicate what they would have naturally in the wild. So in here I'm going to start with our decomposers. Now if I carefully try and lift this stone under here, you are going to be able to see, look, there's some baby wood lice under there, and if we can get in there, you might be able to see things moving around. There's little white bits moving around. They are known as sprigtails. Now these guys are going to be eating all of the waste material produced by our frogs. Actually, oh look, they are wiggling and moving in there. Amazing. It makes me very happy to see this. It is working well. So all of those decomposers are going to be eating the waste of our tree frogs, which makes our lives as keepers a little bit easier. So we don't have to spot clean all of their poop so often. So it makes our life a lot easier. I wonder if we can find any more, because earlier, if I go onto here, look, right. Can you see them all wiggling around? Now I'm sorry if this is making anybody feel a bit creepy, crawly, itchy and stuff, but it means that we are doing our job well because they are surviving. Okay, so if these little decomposers can survive in our enclosure, that means we're replicating their needs perfectly. So that makes me happy. So moving up then, we've now got our producers, which are our plants. Okay, so the nutrients made by our decomposers will be gobbled up by these guys, by our plants, okay, but also through photosynthesis. They're going to be using the sun to create their energy, and then they are going to be gobbled by a consumer. Okay, so over here we have got a locust. Now we do feed our tree frogs. Oh, I'm trying to focus in for you so you can see Larry the locust here. I just named him now. We don't normally name our food. Larry the locust here, he would be a consumer of our live plants, hopefully not too much. And then our tree frogs, so somebody like Mel here, would then gobble him up. We've got our food chain. Okay, so then, as we said, if in the wild one of the frogs were to then pass away, they would then be decomposed by all of those creepy crawlies, all of the bacteria, all of the fungi, and then that circle continues. So that chain just continues of energy being passed from decomposer to producer to consumer. So this food chain would have the plants as the producer, the live bugs as the consumer, the frogs as another consumer, and then our fungi and our invertebrates as the decomposers, creating nutrients to feed the producer. Now, I hope you have enjoyed learning about food chains. Now, from today, I am going to be changing things up. I know I've been doing 2 videos a week for you, but from today onwards, I'm only going to be doing videos like this on a Tuesday. Okay, I am going to be doing something a little bit different on Thursdays for you, so you can still get your animal fix, don't worry. Okay, but I'm just going to be changing it up a little bit. Now, I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has purchased gifts for our animals via our various wish lists. Thank you so much. It does mean so much, and it's helping us so much at the moment. But I would really like to push that we are desperate to hit our target on our crowdfunder page. I totally understand that it is a really tough time for everybody at the moment, but we worked out that if everybody that followed us on just our Facebook page donated £3, we'd smash our target. So please, can I ask you to either donate £3 or could you please share our link with your friends and family, try and spread the word so we can try and get as many people to try and donate and help us through this time, because it is getting quite desperate. Obviously with the new lockdown procedures, it doesn't look like things are getting any better for us anytime soon. So any help that we can receive from you guys would we'd be so grateful. Thank you so much. And remember, you can still book us in for Zoom parties or homeschooling sessions. Yeah, if you would like more information on that, please just pop me a message or a comment down below. Information of how you can donate or purchase things through our wish list will be in the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a lovely week. Bye.